Hello and welcome to Created to Create. I'm your hostess Katie and this is my mother Mandy. I think we're on episode 4. Today is August 24th, 2022. It's a little earlier than I would really like to film our next episode. We've been doing it right at the end of the month or beginning of the month. But I'm going to be in Hot Springs all next week and I'm not even a little bit sorry about that.
I'll be at work.
Well, you were off the last 3 weeks, so I can't feel too bad for you right this second. But anyway, so we're filming it just a little bit early.
Okay. So are we going to do our verse now?
Yeah, we're going to do it.
Okay. So we are created to create, and we are women of faith, and so we have kind of a key verse that we like to use in our broadcasts. And so we go with Proverbs 31:13. It's part of the Proverbs 31 woman. And it says that she seeks wool and flax and works willingly with her hands. And that's exactly what we do.
Yeah. So we are going to start with what we are wearing. It's so cold in Texas.
Except that I've got a sweatshirt on because it's cold in my house.
It's 80 degrees. That's cold for what it's been lately. Cold enough that in the house, she is wearing a sweatshirt, and I'm actually wearing hand-knit socks. I don't know if I can show them to you.
Yeah.
You
Self-stretching yarn.
But yeah, so we actually have on, well, I have on knitwear. Why are you wearing a sweatshirt instead of a sweater?
Because I don't even think I have a sweater.
You haven't knit yourself a sweater?
I have that cardigan I knit for Thanksgiving last year.
Yeah, you need to wear that when it cools off.
Yeah, I will.
That's really pretty.
I'll definitely wear that.
So, something anyway. And I'm wearing my yarn periodic table shirt that I got from Amazon. It says, I knit yarn periodically, and yarn is, let's see. What is that? I can't read that one.
Here, let's see. It says yttrium?
Something that, some element that begins with a Y. Argon, I know that one. And nitrogen. If you know what the Y element is and how to say it, you should put that in the comments because clearly
we
I don't know. So that's what we're wearing, and then we have some whips in progress to update you on. So we're not going to update you on our mystery knit along. So if you're doing the Expression Fiber Arts mystery knit along, you don't have to worry. There will be no spoilers because neither of us has finished Clue 7 yet.
No.
I'm almost done.
I haven't even started it, but I will. I saw my yarn up there, so
It's pretty knit.
I know I'm excited about the
That's
color.
the best color that you have in your
colorway.
blanket so far. I like it a lot. But I do want to update you on my hand knit socks. So even though I have my sock machine, I've still been knitting some hand knit socks because I like them, like it's a little project for traveling. So I do not have a stitch marker on here. So I don't know where I was at the last time I showed this, which was like 2 months ago. Granted, I haven't gotten much farther in 2 months, but I'm not really focused on this. This is literally, I've done like maybe an inch of knitting on this over the summer, like at the water park and stuff. So, but they're still being worked on. Those are my Aramis socks. I don't know what I just called them. I think I called them Argon socks.
Oh.
They're Aramis is the pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's in a Hobby Lobby yarn. And I am still working on my West knits, which I was kind of uncertain about, but I'm really starting to fall in love.
Okay.
So, I have finished sections 1 through 11, and I'm on the final bind off section. Like I just started it.
Oh, wow.
But if we hold it up, if you'll help me out here, you can see these are these little crisscrosses right here. That's section 11. And then this is the brioche section, which I'm so
Were these drop
proud
stitch?
of. You did like these multi-wraps in each stitch. Like you put your needle in and then wrapped it around 4 times before you knit through. So it made these
very
little,
pretty.
They're called crisscross stitches.
Okay.
But those were fun. But what I'm really proud about is this brioche section. So I'm going to tell you a funny story about brioche, okay?
Oh, that is pretty.
When I very first learned to knit, I wanted to knit socks. But I kept hearing from people that socks were so hard, the heel was so hard, you didn't want to do it. So I found this book in this shop, and the book was like, easy, no heel socks, brioche stitch. I thought, easy, no heel. I'm going to knit these socks. Yeah, so when I got this book and started knitting these socks and could not follow the directions, I asked my mom. I should have taken a clue when it took her several hours to figure out what it was wanting you to do.
I had
That
never
should have
knit
been a
brioche
red
before
flag,
ever.
but it wasn't. She figured it out. She showed me, and I knit those brioche socks. And those were the hardest thing I had ever knit at that point by leaps and bounds. I thought, I am never knitting socks. If heels are harder than this, it's not worth the effort. And then I finished it, and these other women that I was knitting with were like, you did such a great job. And I made a comment that, well, this is the only socks I'm ever knitting because these are hard. And my friend Vaughn was like, oh, honey, if you can knit brioche, you can knit a heel. Brioche is way harder than knitting a heel. I was like, why didn't somebody tell me that like 3 months ago when I was saying bad things about these socks? And she was like, you're doing so good. We didn't want to discourage you. So like literally the second thing or third thing I ever knit.
Well, you know, this reminds me, and I think of this, so I'm going to give a little shout out to one of our mutual friends, Faith Morrow, because she is a wonderful math teacher in the Lindale School District, and she always has a motto that she says, it's, you can do hard things. And I never thought of that before till I started being around her. And now every time I think of something as being too hard, I think, oh, wait,
Faith says
I can do hard things.
So thank you, Faith. We appreciate you. Yeah, she's the little voice in my head, but I'm like, this is too hard. I'm like,
mine too. Even
Faith
at work,
says I can do hard things.
It happened at work even last night. One of the nurses was saying, oh, that's too hard. And I said, yeah, but you can do hard things.
I know. I love Faith. Faith is great. So that was my brioche section. Last time we had already done, I think, both of the wings.
I think you were on the wings.
Yeah, I think I had just finished them. So then the bind off for, I'm doing the large sized shawl, and the bind off is really interesting. You're doing these 5 stripes and binding off as you go. So each stripe is like 14 rows of around 33 stitches. It was a little longer over here, but it takes a while to bind off.
Wow.
Because there's your bind off. So I'm binding off this little amount of space, you know, right here, but knitting all the way down and back to do it. So I've only done one set of the stripe.
I can't wait till that's finished. It's gonna be.
The color has really grown on me. It wasn't what I had envisioned when I picked out the colors, but I'm really happy with actually how it's turning out. And here's my marker for where I was when we showed it last time. So this is my West Knits Mystery Knit Along. It's called Shawlography. And I'll put a link to the project down below. Future Katie will do that. She's been very good about doing what she says she's going to do.
Good for you.
So, and then let's see, do I have any other works in progress? I don't. Do you have any works in progress you want to talk about?
Well, I have the same things that I had the last time. I have a little bit more progress. Like, for instance, the last time all I had was the yarn to show you for this blanket that I'm doing. Excuse me while I reach for it. For my friend's grandbaby that's due in October. And so this is called Callahan, I think, right?
Callahan Cabled.
So this is, I almost have, it looks like it's in 3 parts. The tree, then there is a cable section in the center, then there's a reverse tree. So I'm almost,
and there's a knot in the middle.
That's what the knot. So I'm almost done with the tree section, the first tree section. And there's one little boo-boo in it, but I'm not going to point it out, and because I don't think it's that noticeable. And so it's going to be a beautiful blanket, though, for her new grandbaby that is a boy due in October.
You should have looked at the one I made Salem while you were there.
I did.
There's a miscrossed cable like way down at the beginning of it that I didn't notice until I was blocking it, and there was nothing. I mean, like, what are you
not
going to
pull it out by then? But anyway, it's coming along, and I like this yarn. Again, it's a Knit Picks.
This is really nice yarn.
Knit Picks worsted weight.
It's a lovely color. You love this person a lot, obviously.
Yes, Charlene is one of my very dear friends, and I knit her the Tree of Life throw for her living room when she bought her new house, and then I knit her first grandchild, Ella Grace, the Tree of Life baby blanket. And now this one is for the little boy who doesn't have a name yet because the parents can't agree. So that never happens.
I really didn't ask my husband. I told him they all get the name Brohard. That's your contribution to naming the child.
And I don't have the fiber over here, but a couple of things I'm going to start working on because they need to be done in October is my oldest grandson, Katie's son, Asher. He loves knit sweaters. And so I bought fiber to make him a Weasley sweater for his birthday this year. So he'll have a nice tweed sweater with a big old A on the front.
I love it. She knit him a house sweater. I don't know. Several years ago.
Yeah, he was like, it was when he turned like 11 or 12. Yeah.
And he wore it, he's going to be 15 the end of October. He wore that sweater literally until this year when it was, showing like 3 inches of wrist. because he just loved it so much. So he's going to love it.
So here's my work in progress that we talked about. We showed it the last time. It's my gray storyteller cardigan. And I've had a mishap. So if anybody has any suggestions, I bought at Lush, if you're familiar with the store Lush, there's one in Austin and Dallas. It's kind of a fancy, organic, vegan.
You have to hold it up. I don't be able to see it.
They sell soaps and shampoos and stuff. So I bought a hand bar there. And it smells wonderful.
I think it smells really good. I lifted it up on my face. I'm like, wow.
My cat liked it and chewed a hole in the bag I had it in. And I didn't put it in a new bag. And I took all this with me to Lubbock to work on while I was out there. And it got hot in the car and the bar completely melted. And it melted through my project bag. And now I have little stiff spots in this project where the melted product got on my yarn. So I'm thinking I'm going to be able to just maybe soak it in some nice woolly detergent that won't be harsh on the fiber. And when it gets wet, maybe it'll wash out.
And
it's only in
we
about...
could also try steaming the spots to see if it'll
melt it out, because I have a steamer. Melt it and then wash it or something.
Right.
But
on the upside, it's not discolored. Like if you're just looking at it,
no, it's
you
not
really
discolored.
can't tell.
It's just stiff.
But you can feel it. It's like working with
I don't know.
Oh, what is that?
But if anybody has any suggestions, please comment. Leave your suggestions.
Yeah, if you've had this problem, we would like to hear from you.
Because I don't want to ditch the project. The yarn was a little bit pricey. I really like it. I really like it. I want to wear it this fall with jeans and
everything, because it's great.
Because, I have such a big social life going places. But you never know.
You can go places with me. I go all over.
Hey, there you go.
Of course, I wear t-shirts and jeans everywhere I go.
So anyway, just... I haven't really done any more work on this than last time, but that's just kind of my dilemma with it at the moment. I did. My youngest daughter, Katie's youngest sister, had a baby 2 weeks ago, and that's why I was out of town. I was not on vacation. I was up all night with a newborn with my daughter who had a C-section, and it's everything that goes along with that. But
kind of not on vacation.
But maybe Katie will clip in some of the photos of our baby girl wearing the mermaid suit that I knit that we talked about the last time. I have to say, she's pretty adorable in it. And then the crown and
there's going to be a few pictures of my niece, because there's the crown outfit and the mermaid outfit, and then the baby pictures where she's on my blanket.
Yes.
So future Katie should have all of that in here somewhere.
And I have orders to knit her a camo hoodie like I made her older brother.
Oh, cute.
So I'm going to try to do two. A new one for Remy, and then one
that will be so
for Salem that will match.
Oh, the baby is so cute.
She is. She's pretty adorable.
She's perfect. Well, I want to talk about a future plan too. Now that we're on that topic.
All right.
So, a very dear friend of mine, Cliff McClelland, has written a movie.
Oh.
And they are filming this movie. The movie, I can't remember what it's called, but I will put the title of the movie. Future Katie's going to put the title of the movie above my head, and I'll link to the Facebook page for the movie down below. So I can't remember the title, but I do remember what the movie's about. So it is a post-apocalyptic zombie world.
Oh yeah, I saw.
And Cliff, the main character, is going to be Santa Claus, and the movie's about Santa Claus bringing hope and joy to children in a post-apocalyptic zombie world.
Okay.
Sounds like Cliff, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So he insists it's family friendly. I guess they have The Last Kids on Earth. That's kid appropriate zombie shows.
Kids are all into zombies.
Yeah, zombies
days.
are so cool.
Yeah, they're not like, I think they're creepy, but
yeah. So you should definitely go check out his Facebook page about his movie, and you should definitely go explore that. It's going to be super neat.
Will that be in the links below?
I will put it in the links below. And then, so anyway, they're filming it currently, but he called me up and wanted to know if I could knit something, or if I had something already knit that he could use in the movie.
Oh, wow.
So we went through what I had, and we talked about what he actually wanted, and we came to this decision that I'm going to actually provide a scarf. It's going to mostly be knit on my sock machine, because I only have about 4 weeks to do it.
Okay, yeah.
And he wants a really long scarf. But we've kind of worked out what we're going to do. And so I'm really excited. I should be getting the yarn on Friday. And I'm going to be knitting a scarf that is going to be in his new movie. So,
very cool.
I know. I feel special. But that should be really fun. Let's see. What else do we want to talk about? Oh, my grandmother. You can see she's not here. Unfortunately,
there was a mishap this afternoon.
There was a few mishaps. So the dog, your dog,
yes, my dog,
had an upset tummy on her bed. So she's at the laundromat cleaning that up. So, sorry, Mammers.
But in Bella's defense, Bella had anesthesia today because she had her dental work done. And the veterinarian told me she would probably throw up. I just didn't realize that she was in my mom's room on my mom's bed.
So, whoops. But we can update you about her knitting, which is going really well. She finished her garter stitch washcloth.
Yeah, she's all excited about that.
And she has learned to cast on using the knitting cast on. Mm-hmm. And she is ready to learn to purl. But I'm actually probably going to be teaching her to purl whenever she gets back from the laundromat.
So anybody out there who thinks they are too old to learn, no. My mom is 82 years old and she learns new stuff all the time.
Don't tell her we told you that.
All right, she's my mom, I'm your mom. All of us can't be 29.
Yeah, we can. Sure we can. Doesn't Granddad have anniversaries of having been 29?
Yes, he's done that all my life.
Yeah, we could just do that.
Honestly, she looks pretty good for 82.
She looks really good for anything.
Yeah.
So I'm glad because, I'm going their direction, Lord willing. All right, so we talked about mammers. All right, we got finished object. You ready? We forgot to sing our song last episode, but we're ready to sing the song. Do you remember the song? We got things that are...
Dun, 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 dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, dun. I have something that's done. I'm very excited about that. So, speaking of people that we love a lot, I have a really dear friend. Her name is Jennifer. And she learned to knit and was knitting in our knitting group that we have, our in-person one. And then she had a change in her job situation and had to work on the days when our group knits. So she and actually works a lot more hours than she used to. So she really kind of didn't have a lot of time to pursue knitting. So one of the things we had done was a group scarf project. And I showed you this scarf when I was working on it last episode, that it's now done. So this is her birthday present. I don't know if she watches the episodes or not, but she knows about it. So even if she sees it, I mean, she's seen me working on it.
It's prettier in real life than the picture you sent me.
I wasn't crazy about these colors when she picked them out, but I am really loving this.
I'm loving it.
Scarf.
Yes,
so,
loving it.
This is where I was. That little marker there is where I was at the last episode. So I have done all of this in the last month, which I'm very proud of.
I was thinking, are we going to do SSK at the DFW Fiber Fest?
I think that's the plan.
We need to get t-shirts.
Oh, that would be a fun idea.
We need to contact Kris or something and find out what kind of a deal he can give us.
We have a friend that has a t-shirt shop in the DFW area. I'll get his link and put it down below too.
He might, if you want some good graphics.
And he comes up with really funny stuff sometimes if you just have like an idea and need a little help realizing that idea. He's really helpful that way.
So if anybody's planning to go to DFW Fiber Fest, that'll be September 23rd to the 26th, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah,
something like that.
26th.
Somewhere that weekend.
We'll be in the vendor hall and shopping and knitting and just having a great time. So stop by and say hi.
Yeah, if you see us, say hello.
I'm trying to set my budget for that right now.
Oh gosh, I have no money, so that's easy for me. My budget's gonna be like 30, like one skein of yarn. I'm gonna have to look at the whole vendor hall because the one thing I buy will be the only thing.
Well, you have a birthday coming up, so maybe your mom will get you a birthday.
Maybe I'll get a birthday present. That would be lovely.
So, but yeah,
I do have 3 more things that are done.
Those are pretty.
These were from my sock machine. So I'm wearing a pair of socks that was actually the first pair I knit for myself on the sock machine, but I still knit the toe by hand. These aren't the first pair I've knit totally on the machine. I think these are the second pair.
I'm gonna look at
but these are.
Oh, I love it.
I do too. This one actually was the first one, and I love the way the yarn pooled in this one. And then I knit this one second, and the yarn didn't quite do the same, such as a cool pattern.
I know, but that's what's so unique about hand knit socks is they're not. I like that they're not identical.
I usually try to make identical twins, but these are fraternal twins, and they're still really pretty. And I did knit them entirely on the
And they feel awesome.
Yeah, they feel really good.
Yeah.
If you look closely, for some reason, they are not the same height.
No.
I don't know if I just can't count, which is a little scary because I homeschool my kids, or what, but for some reason, one of them is about 15 rows taller than the other.
Huh.
But you know what? Nobody's going to be like sitting there at my feet with a ruler checking.
Another unique thing about hand knits
Right.
or home knit socks.
So now these are for a friend who has a birthday coming up.
Oh, those are nice too.
These are, and I have no idea what yarn that was. I'll put the project down below. You can look it up.
It's awesome yarn.
This yarn, I know what this is. Actually, I have the ball band right here. This is Yarn Bee Cozy Toes. Ugh. See if you can see it there.
I love it.
It's an acrylic sock yarn, but I do like it because when you're giving gifts to people that don't knit, sometimes it's just easier if they don't have to worry about wool care.
That's true. Is this a Hobby Lobby sock?
This is a Hobby Lobby yarn.
Yeah,
So
I love
her
it. I love the
birthday
pattern.
party is going to be not this Friday, but next. And her birthday party's theme is the 80s, which reminds me, if you're in town, can you make my hair poofy?
I think I have to work. Is that September 2nd?
I think so.
Yeah, I have to work that Friday.
Well, can you make my hair poofy
I can
before
still
you go to
try.
work?
Yeah, I can make your hair poofy before you
And
go
put
to
the
work.
blue stuff on my eyes and all that good stuff.
Oh, I can make you look totally 80s.
Thank
You
you.
got it.
Anyway, so it's an 80s themed party, and I thought these
The
colors.
blue stuff on her eyes is called eyeshadow.
Now, I haven't worn makeup since my wedding day.
No, you wore it for your sister's wedding, didn't you?
I don't think so.
I thought you did for Becca's because I thought
Oh,
you guys...
maybe somebody put it on me that day.
Yeah.
Never mind. I haven't worn it since my sister's
And
wedding.
didn't you get it for David's wedding too? Because you were a bridesmaid in that one too. But
Okay.
she's right. She doesn't
Weddings.
wear makeup.
I wear makeup for weddings that I'm in, apparently. That's it.
All right.
But anyway, her favorite color is purple, and I thought these made me think of the 80s.
These are
the bright
gorgeous.
neon colors. And if you can see, they're not perfect twins because there was a break in the yarn. You can see the purple stripe is shorter on this one.
Wow.
And so I lost some, I lost some length, but also if you look at the way the stripe's repeating, when this yarn broke and the powers that be that made the yarn reattached it, you can see they reattached it the opposite direction.
Oh,
So see how it was going a certain way, and then here now it's going mirrored. So they would have been perfect twinsies if the yarn had been correct. But I didn't notice it when I was knitting. I didn't notice it until I took it off the machine, and I didn't feel like that was any reason to start over. So those are for my friend's birthday. And then I have one more pair. Sorry, sock machines
That's
make
okay.
sock knitting really fast, y'all.
These are awesome. Oh, I like this color too.
This pair I actually knit for my mother-in-law's birthday, and she doesn't have them yet because she was supposed to come and get them on Sunday, and my husband stayed up and smoked a pork butt and smoked a turkey, and then I woke up Sunday morning puking.
Oh,
So nobody came to our house to eat all that stuff. So
my God, should have food for the week.
we're still eating turkey. It's really good
I
too.
bet. So for Thanksgiving, we're going to smoke turkey.
Yes, this was his practice turkey for
All
Thanksgiving.
right, sounds great.
So these are for my mother-in-law. This is an Allegro yarn. It's also the same sort of acrylic, hand-dyed, or not
But
hand-dyed,
sometimes
acrylic yarn.
those socks out of that kind of acrylic sock yarn, they're so durable.
They are.
Because Charlene's, I made Charlene's out of that too, and hers,
Did
she
you?
wears them all the time, and they're...
I had a pair that I hand knit for James and I out of Allegro yarn, and I'll put a link to all the projects I'm talking about down below. And we actually wore holes in both of ours. Like, both of us wore them out. But James only had 2 or 3 pairs of hand knit socks at the time.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first pair I made. But I swore I was never going to use this yarn again because I hated hand knitting with it because it's very stretchy. But I have found it is probably the easiest yarn to knit on my machine. Probably because it's very stretchy. Plus, I don't get too worried about things being too small for people because it's so stretchy. So that's this yarn right here. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. All right, I think I'm actually done with all my things that are done.
I'll have something finished hopefully by next recording, and I will try to remember to wear something. It'll be the end of September, so maybe it'll be
cool enough to.
Hopefully I'll have my SSK sweater done, cardigan done, so I can wear it.
Well, I don't know if you will or not. When are you going to start Asher's? Are you going to wait till October to start
No, I'm gonna. I want to measure him so
That's a good
I
idea.
can have some idea. I don't mind it being big because big sweaters are okay, but I definitely don't want it to be small. And
Yeah. And he grows every time I look at him. I need to tell him to stop.
you do that.
You listen. All right. Well, that's all I have to talk about.
I guess me too.
So
Just I hope you enjoy our chatter and all the stuff that we're doing. It is it brings a lot of lot of decompression to our lives. I don't know. It's just it's such a wonderful feeling just to work with your hands and to make something
and to have something when you're done.
And I always, Mom asked me the other day. She wondered what came first, knit or crochet, and I said knit. And she said, "How do I know?" And I said, "Because it's in the Bible. God didn't crochet us together in our mother's wombs. He knit us together in our mother's wombs."
Right, but I don't know if knit or crochet came first, but I do know that the word that was translated as knit in the King James version of the Bible back in 1611, when that version was published, that wasn't the Hebrew word, wasn't technically knit. It was more like wove or woven, but it got translated as knit. I do happen to know that, but I do think that knit came first. Well, null binding came first. Because they have socks that have been null binded, which looks knitted, like ancient Egyptian socks. But I do think knitting came first. And I also know that the first knitting was done in the round on double pointed needles, because the purl stitch wasn't invented for like a long time after.
Right. Yeah. So that's how they got stockinette.
Yeah. Exactly. But I don't know for certain if crochet was before or after, or if crochet maybe came off of null binding, or if knitting came from null binding.
But people can make some really pretty things crochet. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If you like to crochet and you're looking for like more small yarn crochet projects, I recommend Knitty Natty. Her stuff makes me almost want to learn to crochet. Almost, but not quite. That's really good. All right, we're going to close in prayer. We're going to say a quick prayer for everybody, and then we'll let you go.
And happy knitting.
Happy knitting. Dear Lord, thank you so much for all this time that we've had to spend enjoying our craft, for the visits we've had with families and friends, and for all the many blessings that you shower on us every day. Thank you for your Son, Jesus, and for the salvation he brings to each one of us. And in your most precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.